This is a strong Trump supporter. Notice what he has to say about what's happening in regards to the war.
White House.
But hold on. Why does he have access to contact the Pentagon?
Yeah, I was ding, 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 ding. You read my mind.
He's like, I talked to the CIA, the Pentagon. I didn't talk to the secretary. I just saw the generals out there. Like, what? Now, I know they probably have a media section, but something tells me he ain't talking about just calling the Pentagon and just talking to the media. He got a connection at the Pentagon that he's actually able to connect to because he's been out for a while. How in the hell does he get to call the Pentagon and get answers? Like, what is going on? What is happening here?
He compromised.
There's something to this. Like, what? I can't. I'm thinking maybe I'll call the Pentagon. I'm not calling the Pentagon. I'm not doing that.
I used to work for the Pentagon.
I mean, I used to work for the Pentagon. I was in the military, but can you just call the Pentagon and maybe there's some media thing outlet part of it that they can like call? Because I'm like, how he called the Pentagon? What? What the hell?
Trump confidants, Pentagon journalists, and they know who they are. But it's the same way I told you they had a meeting 6 days after Kirk was killed, and Kash Patel said shut down any foreign involvement investigations or any accomplices domestically.
Wait, he said that he's been talking to Trump confidants and also people, journalists of the Pentagon journalists. I didn't ever know that there was a such thing as Pentagon journalists. But hold on.
This is a strong Trump supporter. Notice what he has to say about what's happening in regards to the war.
White House, Trump confidants, Pentagon journalists, and they know who they are. But it's the same way I told you they had a meeting 6 days after Kirk was killed, and Kash Patel said shut down any foreign involvement investigations or any accomplices domestically. Of course, it came out exactly as I said, the exact date. Now, why do I get this? Because they don't have a huge show, and they're scared to put it out themselves. I've had top journalists, as big as I am or bigger. Who could that be? Gee, I don't know. Give me a lot of this intel as well, because at the time, they were still trying to preserve the relationship with the president.
What the hell is going on here? He got connections to everything. Like, who is this guy, Alex Jones? Like, what?
Too many connections.
He's calling the White House. He know all the journalists, but he's been around for a while. So, I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's go.
These people very close to J.D. Vance. I'll leave it at that. And I mean, very close to J.D. Vance. And obviously this is known. My phones are all tapped, so it's not a secret. And it's not like they're leaking anything classified or anything. But Vance has been vehemently anti-war. Once Trump goes, he backs him. He signed up for that. I'm not even attacking him for that. That's what he signed up for. Be loyal and follow what the president says. Even Susie Wiles, who gets demonized a lot. I have big problems with her in a lobbying firm. She's been pissed off. And I told you that weeks ago. It was in the news last week. So when I tell you this, two of the people are close confidants of Trump. Another is let's just say, very close in the cabinet. And they're wanting me to know this. Just like when Charlie Kirk called me a couple times, called me many times before that, but a couple times right before he got killed, saying, keep up the Epstein pressure. He's not in there. But
Alex Jones is painting the picture that the president of the United States is off his rocker. Can you imagine that this is the state of affairs that we're living in? And again, he's not a Democrat. He's actually a Republican supporter of Trump, MAGA. And now he's saying we need to turn the curve on the president of the United States. And you can only imagine what this means as we approach 8 o'clock tonight when Iran is not backing down. They're not trying to make a deal. They want to carry it out because they see this as a mission associated with their God. And once a man is committed to an act because of God, it's very hard to get him to change the position because his life is often in the hands of God. So he imagined he's going to be saved. Even in death, these people feel like they're going to go to a place such as heaven, or they're going to experience nirvana, all of these glorious things. Whereas the average person, like the average American, is just terrified because nobody really wants war.
They've convinced him at the CIA not to release it. I told you about this. Right after he died. Keep it up. We're putting pressure. You saw that come out other places in his text messages. He also said keep up the pressure on Iran. This will derail everything. This will derail the recovery. It'll be a quagmire. He's got a lot of bad forces putting pressure on him. And you saw, then the Israel lobby denied that Kirk ever said that, and they released the text messages and found clips of him on TV saying it.
And here's the thing. Did you guys know that Erica Kirk was Mossad? Iran is releasing everything. They are releasing. Listen, they just released this thing about Erica Kirk. Watch this.
Files on multiple government officials and media personalities. As for the files on Erica Kirk, they say they will make your stomach turn. According to the files, Erica Kirk has been a Mossad agent for years, recruited and run by her own parents. She's not just compromised, she's a professional honeypot, tasked with infiltrating and compromising the US conservative movement from the inside. The files detail dozens of affairs with powerful men and women. But the worst part? The files expose a multi-year operation to smuggle her all the way into the White House.
Child.
Thank
What
you,
is
Ron.
man?
Thank you.
Are y'all aware of that? And that's what Candace
Great.
Owen been screaming about this whole time. Listen, they are getting desperate right now. They are getting desperate because Iran is putting out everything.
So the point is, there's a lot of lobbying of the president going on. And they don't want smart people like Charlie Kirk or Tulsi Gabbard or Joe Kent or me advising the president. And that was big news in the first admin. New chief of staff's main job is keeping Alex Jones away from Trump. Remember all those headlines? That'd say, sir, you know, this person's George Soros, this person's globalist, this person's, he'd fire him. Just like you see a reporter.
Alex Jones was trying to become a advisor to Trump? What the heck is
When they
going
open up the
on?
reporters, they kind of cut that back now. They come up and say, Mr. President, did you know this? He'd check it and fire him 2 hours later. He said, really? Really? On a whole bunch of issues. I mean, he is the president. He is making the decisions, but these bad people are able to convince him, so they spend all their time bubble wrapping him. Goodness.
Okay, so all of
Here's the question. Now, all these people, are they Democrats or Republicans? Because he sure as heck started off this conversation bad mouthing the Democrats, but all the people that's surrounding Trump, bubble wrapping him like he says, are they Democrat or Republican?
So I know some of them were Democrats until what happened with the Biden administration. Then they turned Republican, like Gabbard and RFK.
So the people that are insulating Trump right now are mostly Democrat?
No, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is there were some who were Democrat, and you know, it was so bad at one point that Democrats were rejecting their own Democrats.
Honey, it sounds like to me that people are willing to do whatever to stay in power, and they just switch over. Oh, okay, you're the one, so let me become a Republican. You know what I'm saying?
That too.
I'm trying to keep their little seat. Let's go.
the bad people are influencing the president. He's really a good guy. This is what his supporters are saying, such as Alex Jones. He's a good guy, but he's surrounded by these people, these bad guys, and so they bubble wrapped him, and they're the reason why we're heading into this war, and our lives could be changing at a high level for a very long time. Hopefully a deal can be made, but tonight we're going to be covering this because 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, is the deadline in regards to Iran to make a deal.
He didn't put a time. So at 8 o'clock, we're going to come back here at 8 o'clock to discuss this and wait and see what happens. And we're going to have to be pensive. People in my group, you know, I tried not to cover it, but listen, I got to, because this is crazy. What does this mean for us? You know, I tried to reach out to Owl for Socken to see if we could do a divination on it right quick, but you know, Falakun, I'm sorry, and try to see if we could do a divination on it real quick to see if it's just a bunch of hogwash, because I would hate to waste my time, you know. But people are saying he's really going to do it. Like he's fixing to do this.
The last president to give a deadline was Truman, and that was Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So we're gonna see how it turns out.
This is getting crazy, you guys. So let's hear a little bit more I gotta like go pick up my daughter at 3:30. So I'm gonna give you about like maybe like 15 more minutes, and I gotta like go. But wow, this is sad.
And we're going to see how this develops. But notice what Alex is saying, a supporter of the president.
He's looking for an off-ramp internally. He knows that he was lied to. He knows it's hurting the economy. He's really upset about the strait, even though he's saying he isn't. Oh, go ahead and keep the strait. We don't care. Now, next day, effing turn it over. We're going to blow you up. Put you in the Stone Age. He's really upset with the people that advised him. And I said, what was that Levin thing about? He goes, oh, absolutely. He is really now just think Levin's an idiot. And then I saw Levin Saturday night. Okay, we need to go ahead and end it, but have a permanent U.S. base and just kill them here and there when we need to. Well, that's better than World War IV. Mark Levin makes jokes about World War IV. It's what the CIA calls it, Dumbo. World War III was the call.
So I just wanted to give you guys a good indication of what's happening right now when it comes to different individuals who are strong president supporters, but now we're starting to see them come up with all of these reasonings as to why things are going the way they are. I'm going to show you now even how the Pope has come forward to speak in regards to these matters. And it's quite frankly, it's not great what he has to say in regards to the president of the United States, as he has come out to be a critic, right?
Man, this is probably one of the worst situations to be an American citizen. Listen, if anybody's traveling to another country, be very careful. You do not, in a time like this, if this goes down, you do not want to be over. You do not want to keep your head on the swivel if you're in another country, because you could get compromised. So let's go. Here's the Pope.
Since becoming the first US-born leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo has largely avoided comment on his home country. He'd never mentioned President Donald Trump publicly until now.
President Trump.
But that era has come to an end, according to Reuters Vatican correspondent Joshua McElwee.
Some Vatican officials have been telling me for the past 10 months that Pope Leo is quite cautious about how he talks about the United States. What seemed to change this week is that Pope Leo has become more and more vocal in criticism of the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran that began the Iran war that is now in its second month. The Pope on Palm Sunday, which is the celebration that opens Holy Week for Catholics.
Okay, guys, JC Toad says, you're fed up when you piss off the Pope. All right, thank you.
The most important week of the year, gave a homily in which he said that God rejects the prayers of those who wage war because they have blood on their hands.
Susan says, Alex is a scammer poster child. Now, notice